Oh, hi there! I'm so glad you're here. It's your host, Magic Mirror. Today I want to show you a unique build I've come up with, a very special witch who uses the Great Oracular Bubble, and utilizes bleed, poison, and arcane weapon options. Truly, this is a lady after my own heart. I bet you haven't seen many Strength Arcane Intelligence splits, have you? It might be slightly insane and definitely off-meta, but I'm certainly having fun with it. You'll see that I'm very lightly armored, which I have adjusted slightly in later optimizations of this build. Let's take a little spin and examine the fashion. Oh yes, Witch Vivian is quite beautiful, is she not? Got the Albinoric staff, the Great Stars, the Poison Snake, and the Mogwin Sacred Spear. Anyway, let's jump in and see what kind of wacky stuff we can do with the power of bubbled water. So we have our first invasion in Lanedell. We've got Mr. Man over here with his little candy stick. We've got the host with the funny name, you know, Mr. Funny Name over here. And we're gonna just, as we do an invasion, sort of feel it out. Clearly we're not dealing with the most intelligent crowd. This is one of the great things about the bubble, is that people will often, because it's so slow and unpredictable, stumble into it. Especially when it pops on the ground below them, like so. So as you can see, that's a very effective technique. You can just sort of angle it onto the ground, and they won't really be able to do anything about it. If they get too close to you, then they'll likely get hit with it, and that can open up all sorts of fun true combos and stuff. So I get a little bit cocky, as you can see. When I've got a solo host who I don't think is extremely competent, I start playing around with the poison in order to build threat, and apparently he feels so threatened by it that he decides to jump to his death, so the flying dick shall fly no more. And so that's pretty much how these invasions go. You know, not all of them will go quite that smoothly, but the bubble and the weapon options that I've gotten have a lot of staying power here. So, as you'll see in this invasion, bubbles are really cool for sort of area denial. I definitely don't use it quite competently here. That dude's hiding behind some crates. I'm trying to see if I can threaten them or bait them out. I do successfully bait them out, but he will not stumble into the bubble for me. So you have to go for more traditional tactics. The stagger on the Great Stars and the Great Hammer weapon class in general is incredible. It's a super underrated weapon class. Holy shit, look at that parry. You know, you have a great deal of range. The R1s come out really fast. And when you've got a Colt on there, you can bleed splash people pretty quickly. Look at that R1 and follow up with the R2. Absolutely lovely. Not the most threatening duo, but, you know, we're just playing around and having fun. These are some of the earliest bits of footage that I took with the build. Did a little Coliseum stuff, too. When people are trying to circle around, that bubble is so fucking useful. Goes for the jump. I just bubble him at his feet. Goes for... if they go for anything, you can bubble them at their feet. You'll see someone here in a little bit where they don't quite fall for the bubble, but it gets used for area denial a little bit. We've got this little antlered mage who is showing off her galaxy brain to me. Start off with a little bit of glintstone pebble, which is way cooler than swift glintstone shard. Swift glintstone shard is for total losers. You see they've got some faith investment there too. The totally superfluous rod attack. See the bubble chasing them. I kind of hope that she'll come close and stumble. That doesn't end up happening. I also don't get the roll around catch with the bubble that time, but that's okay. Ooh, look, they've got the Moon Veil, though. Look, it's the amazing Moon Veil that only the best players use. So, at this point, I get the feeling that I'm dealing with someone who's probably not that much of a threat to me. I start playing around, trying to poison him with a snake a little bit. Stars of Ruin is a completely worthless spell that you can strafe easily. Star Shower is not. It's kind of busted, honestly. You're always going to get chip damage off of it. But since this person's being kind of silly, I decided to mess with him a little bit. Repeating Thrust, absolutely incredible Ash of War. If you jump a Moonveil, then you can dodge the bulk of the damage of it sometime. Gosh, there's just so much to say about these things, isn't there? So, since they're just going to Moonveil and spam, I kind of come up with an idea of how I'm going to deal with them. So we're going to try and get him to move a little bit with the Comet Shard. And you can parry a Moonveil as long as you hit the weapon. And we're going to kill him like that. Give him the nice bow, even though they're just a silly nublet. And here we've got an invasion in the consecrated snowfield. You know, you never know what you're going to get from an invasion. Sometimes people will jump out at you 3 versus 1, and they're spamming every deadly projectile and Elden Stars known to man. And sometimes it looks like it's just one person. So, was one person. We can hear that they're summoning hunters in here. And as you can see, the hunter is clearly AFK, leaving me to focus on Liv and see what sort of things she can accomplish here. Gonna chase her down with the bubble a little bit. She's definitely a little bit more clever than your average host, so she's not gonna fall for too many things. But you can still constrain movement since the bubble is so slow and long-lasting. And even if they're good at dodging the bubble, you can still stun lock them with a big weapon like a Great Hammer, and you can combo up on that. This is another tried and true technique of the bubble user. You shoot out the bubble, and then you try and hit them with a gravity spell. I've started using gravity well more than collapsing stars, but either really works. And when it works, it does not work in this invasion, I don't think. You can pull someone into the bubble and get massive damage. So we have an actually active hunter. I always treat phantoms as a major threat first. The less people you're dealing with, the better. And it's more fun to kill more people during an invasion. So they've got this sort of unique build with the Dragon Scale Blade. And it doesn't matter because Earthshaker has insane hyper armor. I pop it in their face and they die. So it's just me and Liv again. And here we enter what ends up being a slightly long-winded duel. Trying to constrain movement with the bubbles, make it feel too threatening to come right up to me, and then I stumble right into the Eochade's Dancing Blade, because this is just how invasions go sometimes. Carry and slicer combos really well with a large weapon in your main hand. Yeah, and you can always do that too. If someone is going to get too aggressive, you can just pop a Comet Shard in their face and get massive punish damage off them. So that's how I end up handling Liv. Here we've got a dedicated duo out here in the Caelid Wilds. Always give them a greeting, unless they're being total douchebags. That crab is really, really important, considering how little damage reduction I have here. And here begins a very silly invasion. They have a lot of projectiles, they're going to use Rain of Arrows on me, they're going to use the Madness Beam on me, and I'm just going to try and get close and see what I can do with them. So, you can kind of see how scary it gets when there are a lot of bubbles around. If you roll in the wrong place, you stumble into the wrong place, you can get hurt. Still doesn't end up threatening them too much, but that's fine. I don't end up getting the bubble combo there, but that's also fine. Some fairly aggressive play with an Impaling Thrust Godskin Stitcher that has cold infused on it. That cold burst damage is pretty scary, but... God, God, I love the fucking one-handed R1, one-handed R2 combo with the great stars or the large clubs so fucking much. It's so effective. It makes for a great damage chain when you're trying to really rack it up there. So we've got, you know, they're just playing with me at this point. They're trying to spam AoEs and stuff. Stay far away from me. Switch up your targets once in a while, so, you know, if they don't think they're being targeted, they'll get hit. Again, doesn't really work because they're playing it cautious here. I have no idea what you're trying to accomplish with the smoldering black flame, though. That's not gonna fucking hit me. I'm like a mile away from you. And as if on cue, he realizes that and starts trying to hit me with the dragon breath. So, dragon breath can be a little bit scary. If you know how to time your outrunning from it, it's not that bad. But, you know, I'm trying to focus on healing, so I get punished a couple times by arrows and by the madness beam. But that's perfectly fine. I can tell that their HP is not full, which is great, because sometimes, you know, unless you proc those bleeds or get a good bubble combo in, it can be difficult to kill people with larger HP bars on such a unique split damage build. So, as we can see, I'm just going to keep going for the dragon stuff. Impaling Thrust's going to be coming my way a lot. One of the great things about Dragon Breath, though, is that it is very expensive, and the more they use it, the less they will actually have to devote to it. And he's got the famous Rivers of Blood, which has become way less cheap than the Moonveil, but it can still be scary whenever you're distracted fighting someone else. But I'm no longer distracted fighting someone else because people sometimes do not expect the R1 chain on the Bloody Great Hammer. So, when someone Rivers of Bloods, it's very tempting to just, like, parry it. It's such an obvious tell whenever they're doing it. I don't think I end up hitting the parry, but that's fine. And when they're really distracted with the dragon, then you can just bubble them all day. And the chase down R1 on the Great Hammer is so nice. I get the kill on that. And we have completed our invasion here. So as you can see, it's a pretty wacky build, but there's a lot of utility here. Here we come up against a really fun duo in Farum Azula. No need to approach them. They're clearly going to approach me. I go for my buffs. I can't believe I'm still using the fucking Opal tier bubble and stuff, too. That's like... That's like, oh, I was too lazy to go to the mountaintops of the giants and get the actual HP bubble, but that's fine. I don't need it for this. When they're distracted, you can always hope that the bubble goes for them. That was almost a kill right there. We almost had an invasion that was so short, I might not have even included it in here, but he lives to fight another day, so I begin the chase. Going for a little regen there. Of course, they're getting spammed to all fuck by the Beastmen and their lightning. I try and go for the Collapsing Stars bubble combo out around here, but they get around the corner way too fast for that. I decide not to chase them fully. I want to observe them a little bit. And so I hook around here and see if I can head them off at the pass. Yes, oh so observant, oh so watchful. So it doesn't look like they're going to try and circle back around, so I'm going to try and meet them on the bridge here. As you can see, they're buffed to all fuck. I don't land the ground bubble, but that's okay. They're gonna spam blood flies in my face, which are annoying if not threatening. This time I do land the ground bubble. And that didn't happen. That was a totally clean jump through the windows, you can see. I didn't just, like, jump into the wall like a complete buffoon. Bloody Slash can be a little scary, but it's also very easy to interrupt. And you're using up your HP, my dude. So the bloodfly spam, not a bad technique to chase me off, but if they end up aggroing any of these beastmen, it might be scary for them. Flintstone Pebble, nice for a little bit of quick damage. Flaming Strike, pretty scary. What you got for me, Zen 10? What you got? Chase down, chase down? We got the chase down. And of course, we've got a solo host, so it's time to get a little bit cocky. Hit him with the poison. If that doesn't proc immediately, then you can actually just slap them with the shield and get a guaranteed proc. I do have the Kindred of Rot Exaltation Talisman, so I do get a damage buff whenever I proc the bleed. And as you can see, that chip damage is super, super valuable. Really, really helps clinch the finale there. So we've got another invasion down there. And as you can see, there's utility for the bubble. And there's a toolkit with more unique, utilizable things. I forget. I don't remember if this guy's a solo host or not. I know he's a huge Arsenal fan, though. Gives me the honor bow, but we're not here to play footy, sir. We are here to play Elden Ring player versus player combat. Get a fake bubble attack. We jump what apparently turns out to be a moon veil, but you know, because we jumped, it doesn't end up doing that much. So we're gonna play with him a little bit, try and hit him with some range stuff. Switches to, man, what a weird fucking build. Ordovis's Greatsword, which he doesn't even have the FP for, apparently. Except when he does. What? So we've got someone who I guess has like an int, arcane, strength, and faith split. Has some HP, not no HP, but pretty scrubtastic. I don't quite land the R2, but build a little threat by parrying the Moonveil Beam. Oh, cocky Vivian. Look at the range on the fucking Viper Bite, though. It's so fucking nice to be able to catch someone who thinks that they're out of range from you. And so the Moonveil did not prevail. So we've already got an invader in this world. We see that they're using the classic tried and true ballista tactics, trying to harass the host and phantoms from afar. So we're going to get a little bit closer and see if we can make a little magic happen here. Guess I check my talismans at this point, make sure that everything is squared away. Looks like they've got Hunter, and looks like my friend has decided to join me. Marika's Hammer can be pretty threatening. I think I've learned to roll it pretty good, though. Don't quite land the Collapsing Stars combo, but we land the bubble anyway, and we're able to kill the host because of it, too. GG, Croc Thresher. What a great thing it is to fight alongside you, friend. Oh, God. And this fucking invasion. So, this is a really, really fun invasion, but it shows that even if you play pretty well, things won't always go your way. So we have what looks like a solo host, is not a solo host. The Phantom jumps down and starts trying to mix it up in the fray here. The footsies at the beginning are so important. Take a look at their weapons, think about how they're going to fight. Sometimes one will rush up sooner than you, Sometimes they'll both rush in. And sometimes you'll get the bubble into snake combo. Alright. So fucking close to killing with that Earthshaker combo there. But they're a little bit cleverer than that. And they jump down here where they get the opportunity to heal. I don't get the verticality kill. I get a little silly and hasty and start shooting bubbles at walls. You know how it goes. Sometimes the bite can go through walls. I don't believe I land that here. Yep, don't land it. That's okay though. We do end up getting that. And we jump, and we get the poison proc, and we get that little damage buff for a while. Hit him with the bubble. Probably would have been better to have a non-shield weapon in my hand, but that's okay. The dreaded Fart Eater has come to help the host. So obviously I'm shaking in my boots at this point. And Gus from Zerk has also made a special guest appearance, so I'm under quite a bit of threat now. Start trying to go for the bubble mix-up. Doesn't quite work out. So easy to dodge that when you aren't distracted, but... oh god, fucking Earthshaker with that hyper armor starts to get a little bit scary once the blood loss procs. I really have almost no armor to speak of, but, you know, we live on the edge. And since there's 3 people who are going to come and try and gank me, I decide to see if they want to overextend themselves and summon the Magma Worm. And they do summon the Magma Worm. Oh my gosh, could have been so good with that. There are so many points during this invasion where I could have just like clinched it right there, but we don't end up getting it. The bubble stun allows Magma Worm to kill Fart Eater, so my biggest threat has been eliminated. Now it's just Gus and the host. Hunters will often play in a very kamikaze fashion. You can see that Gus is just going to keep trying to fling himself at me over and over for a while, as the Magma Worm spits at him. Realizing that they've overextended themselves, they run away. The bubbles are not going to be quite fast enough to reach them as they continue to retreat. Collapsing Stars, not quite in range, unfortunately. Don't get the bubble combo. Try and get a little chip damage with Star Shower just because they're running away so fucking hard. And at this point, I start getting a little cocky myself, start overextending a little bit, because I can see that they're going to play cautiously, and I do have a giant dragon behind me. But here's the thing, don't ever feel safe with a giant dragon behind you. If there's a giant dragon behind you, you can't develop that false sense of security, even if Gus is going to do his dumb little Radon scream in your face. So fucking close. Hunter so close to dying, but he dodges. Start shooting out some bubbles, try and see if we can get it back. I do hit the bubble. Look at how tiny that health bar is before he heals. But I don't quite get it. Start focusing on the host since I'm separated from the worm. I'm so close. I want it so bad. I want it too bad. I roll into the magma. I'm dead. Oh, I'm so dead. And that's how invasions just go sometimes. You know, there won't always be happy endings to these little ganks, but it can still be fun nonetheless. And I got to show off a little bubble magic for you, so I'm happy about that. Here we have someone who's not at all happy with the game that they're playing. You know, you can always just turn it off. I'm in the Giant's Mountaintop Catacombs, I think, or whatever the fuck this one is. And there are a lot of fun little ice breath pillars to play with. There are a lot of strong NPC enemies. They decided to get distracted with the enemies. And so I decided to bubble them and bonk them, and all's well. They have killed the Clean Rot, though. I do see a Bull Goat with a Great Shield, so I know I'm probably not going to be able to burst it to death really quickly. Decide to bait them out a little bit. They do not take the bait, so I'm going to retreat up here and see if I can defend my territory a little bit. Get a little bit of that ice breath going up here. And at this point, I also have a reduction in my FP, since I used some spells, so I decide to pull out the Sacrificial Axe, which, if they kill any enemies, I'll get some FP back from it. As you can see, this is such a slapped-together build at this point still, that I haven't even upgraded it fully, but I figure I might still try and get the Poison Mist proc off there anyway. But they don't run in and take the bait, probably because you'd have to be a fucking idiot to run into Ice Breath like that. So I wait a little bit, try and see if they're going to hit it with a projectile or something like that, but I can see in the corner that they are trying to circle back around and see if they can get me that way. So I'll wait for a little bit longer, and then I'll move here. We'll knock the pillar down. Yep, they are definitely not coming back this way. But that's okay, because I have a little trap set for them. I love it when a plan comes together. I wonder if he even sees me up there. So our host ends up running back. Our plan continues to pay dividends, chipping away at their health. And now he definitely sees me, so I take a moment to think, what's going to be the best way to deal with this guy? I see that he's going to try and lower the pillar again, and he stays close to it, so let's get a little punish in there. Bam! Comet Shard. Comet Shard in the face is an unpleasant time for anybody. And seeing that he intends to challenge me and protect his host like a good little phantom, I decide to go down there, see what we can do. He's got the fucking Star Shower. I have sworn off Star Shower since this video, but it doesn't end up mattering too much. R1 combo, R2 combo, R1 combo, R2 combo, and then the Blood Splash. It's such a beautiful thing. So we've got a solo host. Time to get cocky, time to proc the poison, get a little bit of pressure going there. Vivian, why are you attacking with a +12 axe? Clearly she's not paying attention. But that's okay. So we've got his little butt stomp. He's got his great shield that he can turtle behind. But we can still get the burst damage. Bubble combo into R1. Bam. What a beautiful invasion. It's always great to kill a 3 versus 1. I really do love this game, you know? Like, I literally... Okay. So, this is just fucking rude. Also, the real Gus would never use an earwax sword. So you're gonna get a couple lion claws in the face, and that's gonna be the end of that invasion. Bye-bye! So, I think I'd decide to do a couple of more duels at this point. You know, whenever you're workshopping a build, it's important to do some duels. I start using the Mirai Executioner sword, since I do have the stats for it. You know, that 40 strength will do a lot when you have, when you two-hand a weapon. I love this dude's build, by the way. The Black Flame Blade is so fucking underrated. When you can land it, it is a great, little bit of damage burst there. And on an unsheathed katana, it's just stylish. But unfortunately, I'm not about to give a victory to someone just for style points. That running R2 on the one-handed greatsword is just mwah, catches people off guard so often. And we go for the bubble and the collapsing stars combo, And we get the Bubble Collapsing Stars combo, and that's the end of our opponent there. GG. Goodness gracious. I put Thop's Barrier on there because of that one guy. That's purely just like a BM thing. Like, I'm only doing it because it looks silly when you do it during a match. It literally does nothing strategically for my build. So we've got Joan of Arc here. She's got the Clean Rot, she's got the Banished Knight's Halberd, she's going to play for a bit of a meta build, but it doesn't matter because we're going to combo her with Eochades. We see going for some aggressive movement, some quick stepping. And aggression gets punished with parries, doesn't it? We love to punish aggression with parries, don't we? Goodness gracious. Goodbye, Joan. What a beautiful legacy you left behind. Combat ends in my victory. And so here, we're invading on the Bellum Highway in Liurnia. Looks like we've got a little fight club. And this is one of the most important fights because the nefarious Pimp Master is my opponent here. And as we all know, pimping is deeply, deeply evil. The abuse of prostituted women is just something we all know and hate. So if I can kill the master of all pimps, then pimping will be ended forever. Millions of women across the world will be freed and presumably live lives of economic and personal dignity. But it's not going to be an easy battle. We've got this dude who's using the Blood Flame Blade on the Night Guy's Halberd. He's going to try and hit me with the Phantoms. He's going to try and hit me with the follow-ups, but the bubble is strong. Believe in the bubble. During the duel, I do like to try and build early pressure sometimes by using the snake. Doesn't always work out. I figure that fast attacks are going to be important here, so I'm going to go for the spear, that Blood Claimant's Harpoon that scales with int and arc and strength. And we'll let him reapply his buff because we're so honorable. His little friends doing their dances in the background. So cute. Gonna go for aggro with some chase downs, but oh man. When people don't know you have repeating thrust, and they just think that they're gonna stand there and eat like another R1 from you, and then the fucking repeating thrust comes out, it's such a beautiful thing. Especially when you land all three of it. Or if you get the blood splash kill off of it, it's a beautiful thing. So pimping is now over. There are now 0 prostituted women left in the world. But, you know, the fight continues. You know, I still want to be the best that there ever was in Elden Ring, which I'm clearly so close to being. So let's fight Censored Name. Mr. Censored Name is going to come up to us with his little twin blade. Some fairly honest weapon builds from the Fight Club boys. It's not too bad. Definitely glad that I didn't stand there and eat the Black Flame Tornado, which he's apparently got on his Godskin Peeler. And he's going to chase me pretty aggressively as I start to feel the fight out and everything. I love how scared the fucking blood splashes make people. I also love how, like, these fucking hosts, like, you have, like, twice the number of flasks that I do. You really think it's an honor duel if you're going to be healing during it, but who gives a fuck, honestly? So I want to go for a couple of mix-ups. I'm going to pull out the Carrion Slicer. There's the Carrion Slicer. He got Carrion sliced. Not a good idea to free aim the Glintstone Comet Shard, but in my defense, I probably mixed it up with the bubble. Get pretty close to death here. Those roll catches on Twin Blades are no joke. I've had that parrying tool in my hand for a while. I'm really certain that I'm going to get the parry at some point, but it just never materializes. And that's okay, because we don't go for parries, we go for victories. If you're going to stand there in Black Flame Tornado, range punish is always a fun thing to do. I definitely like Glintstone Comet Shard more than Comet. Obviously Comet has bonkers damage, but Comet Shard comes out so fucking fast, and it's much cheaper too. Throw a bubble out there. The bubble doesn't land, but that's okay. Get a little blue juice back. Keep him on his toes at range with the pebble. Now we're going to go for some weapon hits. The charge R2 on a two-handed spear, surprisingly good. And the chase down, bleed out. What a beautiful finale. What a beautiful happy... Oh no! Oh no! Wow, you're the best player ever. You were able to defeat me. Yep, so... Still a long way to go to be the best, but that's okay. We're just on the journey. We're just enjoying the journey. Hemi Turner, from the famous Hairly Hod Parents cartoon that you may be nostalgic for or neutral towards. You see he's got the Meteoric Ore Blade. Fairly honest build here. Throw out a bubble, see how he reacts. Gets me with that jumping opener. We decide we're going to apply pressure, and pressure comes out pretty easily. We get it in one snake bite. You know, poison's not going to be the killer app, but it's going to apply pressure and, you know, continue that chip damage, so they might underestimate their health. Here we have another host who's decided to use his double flasks to heal, but it doesn't matter because we're going to be really aggressive and we're going to chase him down. That's right. The fucking... The Moquon's Sacred Spear is so fucking good because you can get bleed procs from those, like, chase downs, like the running R2 that has the bump, bump, bump. Ultimately, don't even need the bleed, though. Just need the chase down. We got another little solo host here. Let him buff up. Let him explode like a total goon. We do not offer mercy to exploders. Don't end up getting the first bubble. That second bubble we certainly get, though. And the combo takes him down so elegantly. What a beautiful thing. So we show up in Nokron. Always nice to see a fellow invader that we want to help. So I will go for the host, while Bro goes for the duel. The fucking AoE on that. It's not foolproof. Bloodboon Ritual does have its weaknesses. You can be smacked out of it, but it's really, really nice. Especially when you can catch someone off guard with it. Host going for the Cannon of Haima there. Obviously, I'm not going to let him do that. Going to go for some ground bubbles. Waves of Darkness is fucking scary. I do end up putting it on this build. It's kind of funny how I got the bubble and the collapsing stars ended up being superfluous. Sometimes it be like that. The splash, and the staggered hit, and the kill. You have been avenged, fellow invader. Oh, it's such a beautiful thing. Okay, so this one, right? I have been chasing these motherfuckers all over fucking Farum Azula for 15 goddamn minutes. I know exactly where they're gonna end up. I know exactly what they're gonna do. This little bird is going to be my canary in the coal mine. They're going to come through there soon. Let's jump up. Be nice and stealthy. That's not stealthy. That's stealthy. You killed the bird! You get the blood boon! You get the fucking blood boon! Yeah, that's what happens when you waste my time. And then I get Goomba stomped because of my cheeky trap. But that's okay. And, you know, who doesn't love a good Limgrave invasion with no enemies to turtle behind? Go up to the Church of Ella, see what we're dealing with here.
Hey.
Say hello. Gotta say hello, unless you can't say hello. Oh yeah, I got Shard Spiral. Don't know if it ends up being... Oh, no, I think it ends up being useful in this one. Try and hit with Eochades. Luckily you can roll cancel the latter part of it because it is a long fucking animation. Bubble, Spiral, R1 combo. Look at that shit. Like, this ended up being such a fun build just because, like, you can combo so many things with the bubble. Like, so many things that a host or a phantom is never going to expect. So needless to say, I've been pretty enthusiastic. Those robust Banished Knights are going to be over there distracting the host and phantoms for a little bit, so I'm just going to throw as many bubbles out there and make it as dangerous as possible. Get a third bubble out there. Look at how many explosions that was. Like, I got all three of them with like 2 bubbles. I am not the only one who wields the power of the bubble, but it's easy to carry and retaliate if you're expecting it like I am. Got a very aggressive trio here, and was not able to kill confirm. Gonna try and head him off the pass here. We don't quite get to do that though, and he fights the Godskin duo. Do a little teabag dance. So sometimes the game glitches, and the host can be in combat, but no one else is able to access it. So I use the opportunity to play around with the phantoms a little bit. Let him get his big old dragon laser out of his system. Little Bloodfly spam. They've just got everything, don't they? That phantom's name is Gold Blood. You know what they say? Fear the Gold Blood. Go for a little range punish. The pebble is not quite enough to knock him out of the air, but that's fine. The second pebble certainly is. And he's pretty damaged, too. The rare moment where Vivian herself gets bubbled. Oh, and they're gonna go for the spam here. They're gonna go for every little thing. Blasphemous Blade, Morgoth's Curse Sword, Black Blade. Yep, just throw it all at me. Just throw it all at me. Get a robust ally in the Banished Knight. Hey, maybe you guys should have helped your host instead of fucking around with me. Do you ever think of that? Maybe you should have helped your little hosty there. But yep, Host Mahogi has been defeated. Let's see. Thaddeus Tortuga, a wonderful name for a wonderful individual. He fears the magic, but he does not fear the Elden Stars spam. And it's boring. And he gets bubble comboed. And the Elden Stars doesn't do shit. Oh, Mr. Turtle. What kind of moves have you got? It appears that you have got moves not. What did I say about Thop's Barrier just being a BM? Like, yeah, hide behind your little Black Flame ritual. Thops, thops, thops all day. Very immature behavior on my part. Bubble time? Bubble time? Floor bubble time! That's right. So, obviously this is the downside of Blood Boon Ritual. You can easily fucking get staggered out of it. We don't even need the bubble combo because the Collapsing Stars kills, but we'll still count that as a bubble combo, won't we, folks? Oh, yeah. Here we've got a solo host with the magic blasts, Mr. Hermaeus Mora from the Elder Scrolls. We end up getting the bubble. Don't end up getting the cannon, that's okay. Try and be a little bit aggressive. Chase him back into the room. He's not playing very cautiously. I wouldn't do that with the dog around, but it might not matter because spinning weapon can easily fucking kill me on someone who has enough int, and if I'm low enough on health, that is a scary fucking Ash of War. Chase him down with Shard Spiral, get the ground bubble, and get the Trident Suite. Yep, that's right. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes hosts will not play very cautiously, and that's okay. Here we have a fun little friend group. You can see them turtling up back there a little bit. They're not trying to fuck with me. Decide to bait them out. Baiting them out does work. Get the little unexpected turn and burn poison bite so I can build up some damage and start building up some pressure as well. I'm sorry. Well, I'm sorry too, buddy. We can see that his buddy definitely has something scary with the Sacred Sword. Let him get a little bit aggressive. See how far they're going to follow me. They don't follow me this far. They don't run into the Blood Boon Ritual. That's okay. See if I can do a little area denial. But nope, they're not even going to chase me this far. Hit him with the bubble while he's on the stairs. You really thought you were going to get me with that America Hammer, didn't you? Go for the bubble. Collapsing Stars combo. Bounce it off the pillar like it's no big fucking deal. Yep, that's right. That's right. And now that we have the advantage, we have to chase. We have to chase. We successfully chased the bro, and the bro has died. Let him get a little bit cocky. Let myself get a little bit cocky, rolling too early on the America's Hammer. Chase him down while he's out of blue juice. Do the dun-dun-dun R2 running combo, and we get the kill. Always fun to beat the really spammy teams with the overleveled phantoms. So here we're in Farum Azula again. Oh, I remember this one. When you're an invader, sometimes you just have to be a nasty little bitch sometimes. It's just how it works. You have to be a nasty little bitch. Sorry you were so distracted with your bows, dude. Yeah, sorry about that, dude. I don't use Troll's Roar too often, but it's really, really fun when you hit people with the roar. It's just funny. A lot of people of this level at Farum Azula. Of course, this is a 168 build. I really prefer anywhere from 150 to 200 with Invasions. This guy's not trying to fuck with me at all, so I'm gonna chase him down. And he's got a strong, reliable buddy that is going to spam skulls at me. So we'll have to learn how to deal with a skull spammer. You can pretty much guarantee that when one skull explodes on you, several skulls will probably explode on you, so I decided to rearrange my positioning a little bit, use the terrain to my advantage. Let him blast his skulls all he wants. Host being a little cautious there, you know, Phantom being a good Phantom, protect your host always. The one time I try and fucking use Thop's Barrier for what it's supposed to be for, it doesn't end up working, but that's okay. They've gotten confident. Gonna try and do the Raptor's Mist jump on me with a dagger, apparently, which is just kind of silly to me. Try and go for a slightly extended ground bubble. Doesn't quite reach. That's okay. Mad silly, bro. The Raptor Dagger. You will not see the Raptor Dagger very often. Usually you'll see the Raptor double rusty anchors. But it doesn't matter because the jumping R1 mix-up is sufficient to kill. Yep, just stand there and do your Radon Scream and your Radon Bonk while I hit you with bubbles. Heal and get hit with bubbles. Yep, that's right. Just do it. Probably smart to run at this point. Reasonable to run when you're outmatched, but it also presents new problems. Because you're going to have Beast Clerics spamming lightning at you, and Curve Swords running at you. You're vulnerable while you're on there, but doesn't end up getting killed on the bridge either. Apply a little bit of pressure with the poison. And it doesn't matter anyway because they failed to dodge the boomerangs. And GG. Can you tell I like this game a little bit? Can you tell I have a little bit of fun with it? So here we have some of the legends of PvP. Not paying attention to me. Just killing their Crystallians. Little bubble surprise for them. Hubble. Acid Bubble. Hunter. GG. You probably shouldn't have stood there while I spammed bubbles. But that's okay. That was a learning experience for them, too. Oh man, this fucking guy is such a dick. I fought this dude in the arena so many times, and like he'll throw poop pots at you if he wins. There's nothing he loves more than that Urumi, except maybe pulling out a Moonveil or spamming Comet. But it's okay, because we have a robust arsenal. Oh yeah, Stars of Ruin, the classic Stars of Ruin. Enjoy your chip damage at like 40 FP cost. He's always doing that hit and run tactic, so not always easy to get the drop on him, but he does a little pivot, and that's fucking easy to R2. Sometimes the mix-up is just continuing to spam the same thing. Yep. You are a rude individual, and your embarrassing death was well deserved. Goodbye. So here we have a little solo host with the Naga Kiba, and the scariest Ash of War for the Naga Kiba. I don't quite land the Blood Boon kill, but that's okay. This guy is very serious about fucking my life up with the Spinning Slash, which is scary even when you're using a non-infused Naga Kiba. But play a little bit cautiously and it usually works out okay. And makes the classic tactical mistake of turning into a sheep and running into my Blood Boon ritual. It's all it's happened to you before. Don't pretend like it hasn't. So here we are at the Shaded Castle with some of the legends of Elden Ring PvP. Use my little use my little backstep attack to move slightly faster without having to roll through the poison. And we see that they're going to turtle back up there, so we're going to do a little advance aggression, throw some pots. We're going to jump into a wall. Totally planned, by the way. Everything's planned. They're not going to be aggressive, but that's okay. Let them turtle as they may. And we see that if we decide to fuck with these people, we're going to run into Stars of Ruin spam. And that's not a good time for anybody, so we decide to corner a little bit. They do not take the bait. They do not run into the bubble at any point. But eventually, even the most taciturn of hosts can be made aggressive. Start getting confident. Spamming that star shower in my face again. But luckily, this area has a lot of pillars and a lot of obstacles that I can hide behind. Very difficult to land projectiles on people who are projectiling in your face all the time, but that's okay. We're just going to play clever, play patient, bait them out, keep them separate. But they don't stay separate for long. And the host is revealed not only as a Star Shower spammer, but a Moon Veiler. But that's okay. Witch Vivian can take care of even these difficult situations. I love the little, like, crouch walk. Boogity boogity, I'm coming for ya! Yes, you are, Saravia. Yes, you are. You're the best host ever. Boogity boogity indeed. Seeing some of these spells I had on the early version of this build is just funny. Like, yeah, I'm totally going to play around with a rock sling. That's totally going to be a thing. So I'm not the only one who does shit like that. Very important to keep eyes on both hosts. It can be very scary when someone comes out of nowhere with Moon Veil into your blind spot. Got to make very, very clever use of the terrain here because they are going to spam the fuck. Yeah, yeah. Come on over. Come on over. That's right. And so that's what happens when even the spammiest of hosts overextends himself. Goodbye. I see this dude as a solo host in other people's streams, like, all the time. What even is your build, man? You have perfumes, which scale with dex. And you have a colossal sword, which I can't imagine is not meant to scale with strength. But he definitely has the damage. But it doesn't matter, because aggressive play wins the day. And we love to see it. We love to see it, don't we, folks? That's right, we love to see it. And here we have a really interesting one. Sometimes, like, hosts will have, like, a gimmick protector. Like, I'm sure you fought some of those people who will, like, just focus entirely on, like, staying back and healing the host, as if they were an actual Finger Maiden. Well, here we have an actual Aegis. And so use K is going to be a human shield, while the host spams projectiles. I tend to really underestimate Loretta's bow users just because it's such like it's a wonky little spell and it's usually pretty easy to dodge, so I get a little cocky here. And as you can see, I can projectile as much as I want, but that shield is standing firm. And even though it's not 100% magic protection, obviously it's pretty scary when you have a spammy host behind a shield. So I have to get serious. And I do get serious. I promise you I get serious. Love the bubble, but sometimes you just need a little bit faster burst damage. And we eat through that shield. And so she is going to start bringing out the big spells, the Rykard's Rancor and stuff. The Moon Veil. I'm sorry, the Moon Veil. And it doesn't matter because we're going to Viper Bite her in the face anyway. Goodbye. Your Phantom's loyalty was such a beautiful thing to see. Enjoy the afterlife. So I was just, like, standing here AFK for a while. I do this shit. And of course, if you're AFK during an invasion, that kind of shit will happen. So this very funny name guy has got me in a very, very precarious position. I am able to roll the blood loss, so I don't take the damage from it. And it resets the blood loss counter. This motherfucker insanely be fast rolling, as you can see. I am not fast rolling, I am medium rolling, because that is what cool people do. So we're in a precarious position. And Bros decided to use his heal advantage to his advantage. That's okay. We're expecting this. We expect all things. We're going to maneuver a little bit. We're going to control the space of the volcano pots so that we can close in. Let him spam. Let him spam as he will. And he's going to parry a jumping R1, which is unparryable. I'm so sorry, Ree. You had such a funny name and such a funny gimmick build. But you have perished. And so we have some robust little adventurers here in the Dragon Barrow. Clear Elden's just going to stand there. And that's going to be the end of her. So we're going to go for the host. Seems like it's going to be a very simple and straightforward invasion, but there may be twists and turns ahead. Because the famous Thanos from the Marvel movies is going to show up and put a wrench in our plans. Ground bubble gets him every time, but it is a trade. It is a little bit scary. We do not quite land the bubble combo, but that's okay as well. And while other dude is distracted with the dragon, we can guard break the fuck out of this motherfucker. And hit him with a Blood Boon Wake Up. And that's the end of the Nos. And so we continue to chase our host. Chase, chase, chase the host. Chase, chase, chase the host. All the livelong day, merrily, down the stream. A beautiful silence starts to set in. The quiet of a Caelid night. Little critters running around. Big critters running around. Minor Erd tree casts its pale glow. And so we land the Phantom Bubble combo. He does manage to roll out of the way just in time, but that's okay. There's not much further for this individual to run. And he's aggroed a really high-level boss, so that's good for this strapping individual. Even when you don't get much damage with the Blood Boon, it's still worth it just to get that Blood Flame buff for 20 seconds or whatever. And aggression wins the day, even though I get the shit slapped out of me by Elmer the Briar Man. And we fall to our death, but our goal was met. We kill the host and win the day. Now we have an invasion here in the sealed tunnel with some fun individuals. I think I got my jar cannon at this point, so I decided to play with that a little bit, but of course they close in way too quickly for that. I can see that one of the fingers has clearly fallen down into the danger zone, but we're not going to try and face them just yet, because it can be very scary to go down there and get ladder ganked. So that lightning bolt is enough to intimidate me out of continuing my Mirai Executioner Sword Assault. And I do end up falling down here anyways, so we bubble combo, and we don't even need the Iron Virgin to confirm our kill. So obviously very risky being here. I am going to use the Phantom Finger if they try and ladder gank me. But what's this? No ladder gank. My goodness. I guess they've decided the tried and true tactic of just running the fuck on ahead and ignoring me. Well, I'm not one who easily tolerates being ignored, so I will chase them down. And chase them. And chasing. The quiet begins to set in once more. Dude falls off and dies. Another reduction in the threat. Right there in front of the boss door too. So close to your goal. So close to your goal. I never expect the guard counter, no matter how many times I see it. It's just so crazy that anyone ever uses it. And we've got a little tubby roller here. Gonna try and hit him with the spiral combo, but Great Shield pretty reliable. Not stupid enough to stumble into the bubbles. That guard counter really breaks a combo. But it doesn't really end up mattering all that much because poor stamina management leads to guard breaks. And the guard is broken, and the day is won by Vivian the Witch. And the silence sets in once more. And here we have these chuckle fucks. So clearly I am not the only one who can use collapsing stars. It can be very scary if you don't time the roll, especially with someone who has very high int. But it can totally be side rolled. Obviously it's going to be a bad idea to stand out there and get blendered by these two. Blood Balloon can take care of things pretty easily. I don't quite land the kill until right then, though, because this person decided to be stupid and fuck around with meteors instead of killing me. The bubbles don't quite land, but they keep them rolling. Stars of Ruin. Very easy to strafe. What a waste. Although, I mean, with some of these hosts and the level of mine they have, it doesn't really matter how much FP they waste. So if he's going to hang back and do the healing, then I'm going to punish with a Glintstone Comet Shard. Fearsome teleport technique, always scary. Try and stagger that R2, doesn't quite work because we have a fucking fanatical light roller. Perfectly timed blood splash. Keep them rolling with the volcano pot. Just roll all day, waste your fucking stamina, you big goon. And the blood boon kill confirm. GG to both of you. My goodness. And so we find ourselves once more on the journey in the Altus Plateau. We have the Gank Squadron. We have another invader already joining the fray. The infamous Kerplurker is going to be my opponent here. Sacred Blade, not quite as scary when you're up close. Pretty easy to roll. It's when you're at medium distance that it gets really scary. Get the Bubble Ground combo. See if I can keep them in range. Doesn't end up working, but that's okay. Not so scary at all. Get the Blood Boon roll catch. Bleed them out of the sky. No Marika's Hammer today. Let's go help our fellow invader. Now, I mean, invaders have a certain level of pride, you understand. Like, it's very important to us to be able to get the kills that we're going for. So I decide not to try and go for the kill, not to claim the glory from my fellow invader who was there first, but just to harass a little bit, get the bleed proc, apply the pressure, distract him a little bit, keep close to him so that he can't run away or do any kind of cheap bullshit. Ooh, scary, scary. You're rolling into the other invader, aren't you scared? Definitely not a very faith-invested build, but that's okay. And the glory belongs to this asshole. Spinning slash is not even that great of a wake-up. Whatever. And the same gankers are doing the same ganky stuff. This time I'm the first one to invade them, however. So let's see what I can make of it. Definitely defeatable. But they have quite an arsenal too. Like I said, that Sacred Blade, pretty fucking scary when you're at range. Try and see if I can apply bubble pressure. Does not fall for the bubble pressure. Goes for the little dun-dun-dun R2 combo that I've been making so much use of with the Moglin Sphere. That's a fucking scary move right there. You can get so fucking stun-locked by the breath. Especially when the the fucking Sacred Sword sweeps ya. So obviously I'm on the back foot here, but not demoralized. Dodge things by sound. Dodge behind pillars. They don't fall for the Blood Boon bait, but that's okay. Get a little bit of that Blood Flame buff regardless. It's got the Golden Order Greatsword there, which is a lot of fun, but I've also used it a lot, so I kind of know to expect the timing there. But we have another invader here. So everything should start going perfectly now, right? Other invaders are always helpful, and invaders always have a camaraderie between each other, right? Try and hit me with the Madness Beam. Doesn't work. Don't quite get the bubble combo. Would have been nice. That's okay. Strafe the Madness Beam. Can't kill confirm on the Kerplurker. What a sad state of affairs. Here we go. It's our fellow invader. Everything's going to be okay now. Punish him a little bit as he's trying to go for the America Hammer Ash of War. And we get the kill confirm on Kerplurker. And now we can go for the host. It's another beautiful invader team up. Yes, let's get him. Let's go for it. Let's kill Hell Soul. Buddy? Oh, you motherfucker. Yep, this is one of those invaders. This is one of those, oh, I'm just gonna kill everybody I see on screen invaders. I assume that maybe they're just like really dumb at first. So I take off the trick mirror. Hi, I'm another invader. Hello. See me invading? Hello? No, I don't give a fuck about that. I'm too tough and cool. Okay, okay. No respect. Yeah, let's do the little teabag dance. You're so cool and impressive. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you on the back foot already? I thought you were the cool invader that kills everybody. Come on, Donald. Come on, Donnie D. Come on. Oh shit, did you get fucking heal punished? Oh shit, did you get fucking heal punished? Oh wow, wow, your heals are going away pretty fast. Yeah, roll, roll, roll. Oh yeah, oh my gosh, you're so fucking cool. Now we can get back to the real business. Oh man, I live for this shit. I really do. Now that you've aggroed every fucking Leyndell soldier under the sun, time for you to be on the back foot. I love the fucking great sword moveset so much in this game. What a beautiful fucking moveset. And the bubble kill confirm combo. You overextended on your Golden Order Great Sword Ash of War, but that's okay. Because you're actually a really fun gank. That was fun. And I got to kill a stupid no-honor invader, so much the better. And so here at this last point, we're going to jump into our last couple of invasions. We're going to keep it nice and chill here. As we can see, the fashion's changed a little bit. Some of the spells have changed up a little bit, but the principles are absolutely the same. We're going to be casting bubbles, chasing people with bubbles, and hitting people with bubbles. As we can see, we've got a distracted host and phantom. Perfect bubble chase. And then you can kill confirm with the gravity. Hit him a couple times with great stars. And kill confirm into the lightning. What a beautiful thing. We love to see it, don't we? And you know, some invasions can be very difficult sometimes. Sometimes they can be challenging. And sometimes they can be utterly brain dead. We don't quite gravity confirm into the bubble, but that's okay. Because we're going to run up to someone who very foolishly elects to use bubbles on me. And then we get the kill confirm. Please level your vigor. Nice and simple and brain dead. Here we have a bit more of a challenging one. We've got the famous streamer Germs, who's shown up and decided he wants to play with us. Get staggered through the bubble cast, but that's okay. We land the ground bubble, the R1 combo. Kind of close to a kill confirm, but not quite yet. We're still hungry for it. The host is protecting his phantom admirably. Here we see the beauty of Waves of Darkness, placed onto a cold great stars. Don't you love the combo? Don't you love that last one that staggers just a little bit, so that you can combo into it? We do love to see it. Now that we have a solo host, we can play a little bit more boldly, but we can see that the solo host is being clever and cautious. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. We don't quite get the jump, but we do get the bomb. Gonna try and play a little bit more aggressively here. Let him drink his blue juice. Doesn't get baited by the Waves of Darkness, but that's okay. We have a gravity well waiting, and then we get the coveted kill confirm. And we love to see it, don't we? Hi, excuse me. Did you want some of this action too? I think it's a little too late for that. And so here we go. We have the big, meaty 3-person gank squad. They're going to shoot projectiles at us, they're going to bonk us, they're going to do everything that they can, but we have a crystal tier that allows us to absorb elemental damage. So, it's going to be a little bit easier here. Obviously, we're still very much in the danger zone. Falling Star Beastjaw Ash of War absolutely does physical damage, which we cannot absorb with our crystal tier, so we're still in a dire situation. People projectiling us, nice staggered roll. People running up, trying to poke us from behind. That little loop-de-loop and the jump. Live for a little bit longer, let one of them fall off, and show themselves to be the fools that they are. And so now that we have a 2-person gank squad, we can be a little bit more assertive. You can feel the momentum changing here a little bit. So we're going to chase after them and see what happens. And apparently what's going to happen is they're going to run up the ladder. One of the imps will try and chase them, and of course they're going to try and bonk the imp. At this point I realize that I have a ladder gank waiting for me, so I decide not to go up all the way yet. Let's see if we can cast a little Night Maiden's Mist, a little night music, and we'll see if they decide to follow us. We'll be alerted instantly if they do, because we'll see their damage bars going down. And while we wait, it's always nice to pop a warming stone, save yourself a flask, save a life. And we bask in the warmth for a while, and we enjoy the silence that settles into the sewers. We see the beautiful gold. We smell the stinky sewer stink. And we can tell that our pursuers are not so brave as they thought that they were before. The imp has already retreated. We're back on full health. So at this point, an invader decides to skip the ladder and take a phantom recusant finger. Always a classic witch tactic. And so taking the phantom recusant finger allows us to warp up here. We can see that they're across the hallway from us at this point. We're going to take a little tactical retreat and assess the situation. We can see here in a little bit with the jar cannon that a hunter has joined the fray. And our cannon harassment plans need to be cut short because we don't want to be fat rolling with a projectile weapon when the hunter runs up to us. Instead, what we want to do is get the R1 bomb and then combo it into a Waves of Darkness, and then do the Waves of Darkness spin, thus killing the hunter, and thus keeping the host off of our backs. And then we see those not-so-brave hosts. We'll try and chase them with the bubble, but they're too afraid to be near the bubble. They're going to keep retreating, so we'll give chase. We'll follow them down the hallway and see what they're about. Just a little bit out of range of the gravity, so we can't pull them closer towards us and get a positional advantage. We see that they're going to turtle up and try and summon more people. And so we'll cast a little Night Maiden's Mist over there and punish them for their cowardice. No choice but to run out. Send out a shard spiral that we got from the nice lady Miss Selin. And chase them some more. And they'll stay back, and they'll throw little knives at us. They'll shoot ultra slow and easy to dodge projectiles, and I will mock them. I will mock them for their behavior, yes, that's what I'll do. And we can see they're going to try and someone else, so we'll take a little tactical retreat. We're thinking about jar cannons and things like that at this point. But luckily they end up not being able to summon. So we'll return to our aggressive posture. Cast a bubble. Don't quite kick the bubble. Might have been nice to put it on the ground. Instead, we get the Waves of Darkness. And we get the kill confirmed from the bombs. Just in time to be murdered and shredded to death by the Melania's Hand Ash of War. the end of the day, as long as you get the kill, as long as you beat the host, you're the winner. I really like those 3-person gangs. So we have a host, we have the bubble, we have the combo. We're gonna try and gravity them. And we're gonna kill confirm with a Duelist Moonblade. And that's why we put a Duelist Moonblade onto this build, because we love to see it, don't we? What a nice, relaxing set of invasions this has been. I think we're on our last one here. We're back at Stormvale Castle, a classic place for invasions. We've got a host. And we've got a high-level healing phantom, so we're going to put a little chaos into the room. Yes, we're going to cast bubbles. We can see that they're not going to stumble into the bubbles quite so easily, so we're going to pop back out here. They don't follow us like we expect, so the Duelist Moonblade finds no purchase. And we'll buff up a little bit. But we won't pop our flask yet, because that could be essential. We see that they're still turtling up in there. And we see that a hunter's showed up. So we're going to trap in there with Night Maiden's Mist, chip a little bit of health off there. Keep them intimidated. Assess the situation. Yep, they are being held in there nicely. Of course, they have a couple of tricks and traps. They're not going to go for the door, so the splash damage isn't going to hit them. We can bait the hunter out, because hunters are often much more impatient than hosts and phantoms. We can see that the heal spam is doing them a lot of good. We can see that it was clever to not run in there and get hit by the moon exploding. Now we have a lot of pressure on off our physics. That fire damage is healing us, and the Waves of Darkness serves us well. Very nice to be able to pop that and take care of the silly little hunter. And so now the momentum has changed again. It's another 2 versus 1. So we're going to cast some bubbles, try and introduce some chaos. A slippery crew here. They try the Rivers of Blood. They're going to try the Scouring Black Flame. They're going to shoot a couple of stars at us. And so we'll take a nice tactical retreat. See if we can skirt around them. Of course, the heal spam never stops when you have a high-level phantom. And we'll throw Volcano Pop, see if we can pop that bubble. Easy to dodge, easy to dodge. Nothing fancy, nothing fancy. See if we can pull them off with the gravity. Not quite, but that's okay. Maintain our position here. Stars of Ruin was a total waste because I was out of range. And so here the Phantom gets aggressive, gets bubble, and gets the kill combo. You love to see it, don't you? Pretty decent little windfall of runes. The host is now panicking, so we're going to chase the host onto the ladder. We don't get the ladder kill confirmed though. So we'll chase them up and see what happens. You usually get a moment or two of invincibility when you get to the top of the ladder. So we'll get to the top of the ladder, and just for safety's sake, we'll Waves of Darkness. But we can see that the host does not come up here as it seems. We can see that they've actually retreated. So we'll take a little detour. See how far they've gone. Have they dropped down to this level? No, clearly they've dropped down even further. You can see that they're running and running and running. So now we can easily assume that they're going to go back and see if they can summon another phantom to protect their defenseless little behind. And of course we don't want another phantom to have to deal with. This has been such a beautiful invasion. So we're going to kill confirm with the Claimant's Harpoon. And we'll have a little cheer moment. And we'll jump, and we'll jump, and we'll leap into the stormy sky. And die. And that's the last invasion. Thank you so much for joining me. This has been really wonderful. Once again, this has been your host, Magic Mirror, showing off the Witch Vivian bubble build. I hope that you'll stay tuned and check out some of my further invasion compilations that I've got coming up for you. Bye-bye!